Nisambula Vinaka, and a warm welcome to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. My guest today will be from in-house, my work colleagues and my good friends as well. But World Radio Day is on Thursday, the 13th of February. The theme is Radio and Diversity. It marks a time when people around the globe, including the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, celebrate radio and how it shapes our lives. This day was proclaimed at UNESCO's 36th General Conference in 2011 and was then unanimously endorsed by the United Nations General Assembly in 2012 as a UN Day. Let's face it, radio is a powerful medium, broadcasting to roughly 70% of the world and remains the most widely consumed medium. My guest today, sitting here now with me, like I said, my workmates and my good friends, Gold FM producer, presenter. He's the host of Chilling Out as well as Rest and Relaxation. And this is Sevanaya Tora, also fondly known as DJ Tora. And also I have with us the assistant program director of Radio Fiji 2's Hum Safar. And this is Dipti Ben. A warm welcome to the both of you to Speak Your Mind. Now, firstly, when did you start at the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation? Shall it be ladies first? Maybe we'll start off with Dipti.
Hi, Luis. Thank you so much for having us on this show. It's a pleasure. So if I say when I started my radio career with FBC, it was a very memorable day. I still remember. It was 13th of February, the World Radio Day. And at the time, I didn't even knew that the World Radio Day existed.
Oh, imagine. So happy anniversary for you starting in media.
Thank you so much.
Oh, great. Yes. Okay. And what about our friend, DJ Tora? Tell us your story. How long you've been working?
Good afternoon, Louis. I started here back in 1990. Spent 7 years working as during the weekends on Radio Fiji 3.
Okay.
Today it's known as Gold FM.
Oh, wow.
I left in 1997. Then I came back in 2006 until today. It's been a great journey.
Great. Now, what can you tell us about your experience in radio?
For me, it was, I'll say, the experience so far till now was very good. I had a roller coaster ride, and I learned so many things, and still learning. And I know I'm going to be here for a long time.
You love being on radio.
Yes.
That's what they normally say, you know. Once you're on radio, it's very hard to, you know, find another job because you just don't want to, because it's such a great job, don't you think, DJ Tora?
Yes, it's a great job. My experience has been a good one. Playing with music, nothing beats that. To me, I've been working with music for a long, long time, all my life.
Oh.
And I love music. Working, experiencing things, and I'm still learning.
Yes, we all are, aren't we? Exactly. Yes, and sometimes we don't realize as presenters, you know, the impact that we do make on people's lives. But then sometimes, you know, we do get telephone calls. I'm sure you must get heaps as well.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes,
people may be feeling lonely, and we brighten up their day, don't you think?
That's what radio is all about. You entertain and inform your people or
And,
your listeners.
Yes.
Always letting them know that we are here for them, and always tell them, think positive.
Yeah, I mean, that's our job. We're to make the listener happy.
And that's the best part.
Yeah.
When you communicate with the listener, that's your job, is to communicate with the listener and make them happy.
Yeah.
And the best part is when they call you back and say, it's been a wonderful day, wonderful program you're playing, beautiful music.
I know.
It makes you feel good.
It really does. I mean, when someone calls me up as well, and I'm sure you, Dipti, I feel really grateful, and I really appreciate the fact that they've made that phone call just to say thank you. That's so true, DJ. Now, what was radio like, DJ Tora, when you first started compared to what it is today?
Well, working here with FBC, when I started back in the 90s, we used to come in with cuts before nothing like technology has taken over now.
Right.
But at that time, it was mainly manuals. We were playing cuts.
Okay, so you had like different decks?
different decks.
Because you have to have the transition, right, from one song to the other.
Yes.
I mean, for us now, it's really easy because it's digital. But how was it in that time?
A lot of work before you come in. You make sure all your tapes are rewind.
Yeah.
So when you play, there's no problem. Sometimes people don't want because they're lazy.
Yeah.
They don't rewind the tapes. So when you come in for the next show, and then you play your card, nothing is coming out. Then you realize.
Oh, they haven't rewinded
No.
it. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes ends up to the wall. Eh?
You get frustrated with that because that's probably the presenter before then. Anyhow, we will be having our other friend also come in from Radio Fiji One. That's Naikini, and she'll explain more about, how it used to work,
Yes.
just as you've said, DJ. Now, Dipti, can you tell me in your own words how radio is an important part of the local community and listeners' lives?
I would like to say, Louis, it's very important. It's an most instant reach, and it informs people about what is happening in their specific community and in the countries as a country as a whole.
Yes.
And we can say that it's like one of our non-judgmental friend
Yes.
for our listeners.
Okay.
Yeah, radio plays a big part with our community because we inform them of what's going on, especially during cyclone season.
Yes.
The only form of communication that can reach the people wherever you are
That's
is
right.
radio.
That's so true. And we have the what you would say, the biggest reach,
Yes.
don't we? Because we have AM frequency as well now. That's a 990 kilohertz.
Not only Fiji, it reaches the Pacific too with our AM frequency.
Right.
Yeah?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
that's the main part of being working with the radio is that you communicate with your listeners, inform them, and also entertain them with the latest music and also the classic music that you have.
Yes.
You give them life by playing all this classic music.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine traffic jams. I've been in taxis, and that's the only way that they can go through their day happily is, listening in their taxi in a traffic jam. But anyway, we'll be back in a moment on Speak Your Mind. This is Gold FM, only the classic hits, your only classic hit station in the country. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're enjoying the program so far. This is a live radio talkback show, and you're most welcome to call if there's anything you'd like to say, 3220906 or 77329906. Now, we're discussing World Radio Day, which is on Thursday. The theme is radio and diversity. Now, tell me, how do you think radio shapes our lives?
Actually, radio has shaped our lives, shaped and advanced society like nothing that came before it.
Wow.
Before social media came in, it was
True.
only the radio there. It was the only medium of conversation we had, connection we had with people.
Yes, that's true. DJ Tora, what do you think?
Yeah, and the radio is a form of communication, one-on-one with your listener, and also you let them inform them of what's going on, and like I've said, entertain them also, and also talk to them about what's happening around the world.
We can say that how we share and promote our thoughts. It's like our opinions and creations, but not just that. At times, your radio is your companion.
Yes.
We believe that.
Yes.
It's a loyal and enlightening companion, ever prepared to share music with you or give you the latest headlines.
Lovely. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Yes. Okay, so in alignment to the World Radio Day's theme 2020, how does FBC Radio fairly and equally represent all men, women, and children?
Well, FBC's got 6 radio stations. And what we do, we keep reminding our listeners about safety of children. We remind them of equality. We remind them of healthy living and so on.
Yes.
So it's very important to let our listeners know all about this.
And I would like to say that our corporation speaks all from it. Like it speaks, the name speaks itself. It like it's a Fijian broadcasting corporation, so it's for whole of our Fijian.
Yes.
It's like even in community or even globally, it keeps us connected.
That's right. And I believe here at FBC, we are really diverse. I mean, we have all, of all different backgrounds, from all walks of life. And the thing about working at the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation is that we're all friends.
Yes.
Yes,
You know?
that's what radio
Yeah.
is all about.
Yeah. I mean, we have our own personalities. Sometimes they say radio people are a bit different from everyone else. So what do you think?
That's true, Luis. That's true, very true.
Yes. It's like keeping all the culture connected together. Even like if we are like of different religion or different culture, it doesn't matter. We are all one. As a whole, we work together.
Yes, I mean, we don't ignore each
Yes.
other. If I see you or, whatever, we've got quite a big place. There's, 100 plus staff here at the Fijian Broadcasting
More than
Corporation?
200.
Okay, it's more than 200 now. See, I can't keep count. And we all know each other.
Yes.
And I believe in feeling good. You got to feel positive working for a radio station.
Oh, yes.
Because you talk to your listener, you inform them about all these positive messages,
Yes.
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah, and if you're feeling happy on air, obviously it will relate through to the listener on the other side, whether the person is driving or at home.
And then you make them feel good by playing their music.
Yeah, the music is the main one. Yes.
It's like one-to-one connection. It's like I'm connecting with that certain person
Yes.
when I'm talking to you. It's not like I'm feeling you ignored or you are just like someone else. It's just like you are very special to us.
Yes, because our listener is very special.
Yes.
Yes.
We make you feel special
And
all the time.
I remember
Yes.
well-known radio DJ used to have a doll in front of him.
Okay.
So when he talks, he's talking to the doll.
Oh, okay.
How beautiful are you this morning? You're looking beautiful. Meaning he's talking to you
Yes.
Right.
because it's a one-on-one thing. Eh?
Yes, it's personal.
That's correct.
Creative your, what we call that, a personal connection.
Yeah, it
With the
is.
listener.
I mean, you never know who's listening. Someone might be depressed or in hospital or sick, and it's our job to make them feel good. And
That's the thing.
it's a great feeling. Yeah,
And
it is.
like we have programs for everyone. Like if I say that our name speaks it all, then we have programs for everyone. A certain specific programs for children, for women, for men.
I
It's like
know.
everything is there. We cater every gender, everyone. I mean, as a whole.
Exactly. So on World Radio Day 2020, UNESCO is calling on radio stations to uphold diversity both in their newsroom and on the airwaves. So that's exactly what you're explaining now. I mean, we do it at the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation
Yes.
with the different programs that we have that Dipti has just mentioned. Even now, Speak Your Mind.
Yes.
We give people the opportunity to come and share with us whatever, issue is happening in the country as well. Now, as a presenter of the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, Dipti, because I know that you'll be leaving after this and making way for Nai
Yes.
from Radio Fiji 1. Sometimes I mix it up. I always get the 1 and 2 mixed up. But anyhow, as a presenter, what would you like to tell our dear listener?
To our dear listeners, we are because you are. We are here just because you are our listeners, our first priority. If you want to be connected locally or globally with your people, your community, then tune in to us today.
Thank you, Dipti. Now, what would you like, as a presenter, like to tell our critics of the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation what they should know about us?
That's a very important question, I think, Luis, because when it comes to critics, lately we have many critics.
And it's like social media. It's
Exactly.
even worse now.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we believe all critics are not bad critics. We
Okay.
believe that. We hear, we learn, we bring in new things, and we will never stop doing things that make our listeners happy. That's for our critics. And I have seen people criticizing on new programs, or let's say something new comes in the market. If a new product comes in the market, people will look at their bad side, their negative side. But at the end, everyone will accept it because it's for the good.
Thank you very much, Dipti. So is there anything else you would like to add on to that, DJ?
Critics is there everywhere. Critics is everywhere. So all you have to do, understand. The thing is understanding each other.
Okay.
Sorry, that's how I believe. Because it's not easy to be here working with radio, informing people, the listeners of your station.
Yeah, I need to butt in there because when you say it's not easy, that's what people think. Oh, easy job.
Yeah.
Presenter, just go sit down, talk on the mic, music.
They say
You
it's-
made a really good point,
Yeah,
DJ Tora.
it's not easy sometimes. It can be easy sometimes, but you face with that difficulty
Yes.
in trying to entertain your audience,
Yeah, and look at what we're using here. We're multitasking,
because
right?
your audience can be choosy. I don't
Yes.
like this music. Play another music.
Yeah. Or you get the certain, well, I shouldn't say irritating one, but they can be demanding sometimes. But, we handle it with in professional
Professional way,
manner.
yes.
Yeah, we can never be rude to anyone because our audience comes first. Hey, but we'll be back soon on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're enjoying the program. World Radio Day is on Thursday, the 13th of February. The theme is radio and diversity. And I now welcome my good friend and work colleague. She is the program director of Radio Fiji One, Naikini Kamanalangi. A warm welcome to you.
Mbulavinaka, Louise. Mbulavinaka to all our Gold FM listeners and to our Speak Your Mind viewers. It's with great pleasure to be here today and to talk about World Radio Day.
Lovely. Now, Naikini, you need to tell us, when did you first start at the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation?
Oh, well, I started my radio career at the Fiji Broadcasting Commission then in 1987.
Ooh, 1987, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So were you straight
As
out of
a-
school?
Yeah, just after school as a part-time presenter.
Okay.
Till to date, it's after 33 years of service at FBC. It's the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation.
That's a long time. DJ Tora, 33 years. So you must have known her when you were both quite young.
3 years after, I came in
Oh, my
1990.
gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
I came in 1990, as I had explained earlier.
At that time, too, I was young. DJ Tora, that was in
1990,
1990, Radio Fiji 3, if I recall.
Radio Fiji 3.
Yeah, see, you got a good memory.
Yes.
Still young. at
Yeah.
heart.
Oh, yes, have to be, right? Okay, so, I have to ask the questions, DJ Tora, that I missed out on. So you need to tell me, Naikini, about your experience in radio.
Oh, well, the first experience that I had for radio is the passion. For the past 30 years that I've been with FBC, Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, it's a passion that we have for radio, that I have for radio. Mostly it's because I started off at FBC as a part-time presenter, and I went through all the program department, like for news, for scheduling, and the last department that I have to be in till now is the radio programs. When I first started as a part-time presenter, going on to the women's officer, and then be a program producer, and the program producer, the one that produced program officer,
Yeah.
and lately, till to date, is a program director for Radio Fiji One.
Yeah, so how long were you on air for? Because now you're actually just managing the team because you're pretty senior. So how long were you on air again for around?
It's just after 5 years from
So minus 5 from
minus
33.
5 from 33.
Oh, that's a long, long time. And okay, so what was radio like? I've already asked this question, I've posed the question to DJ Tora, but for you, what was it like when you first started? I mean, 33 years is a long time compared to what it is today.
Well, everything is new because I just left school and I joined FBC. It's only the language that brought me in because I can speak Itaukei. I spoke Itaukei well with a voice, maybe if I have the voice. And then with the experience of the past radio that I go through or went through, it's the building itself speaks of time. For the past 30 years that I've been with FBC, from that day, from that time till now, the renovation, the new building that are we in now, it's not like, because when I started, it's the old FBC when it started in 1954, and it was all manual, analog. I have a few, just
There we
two
are.
that
That's an example. That's a good one.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Tora mentioned about the real tape. So this is the real tape. This is where we produce all the programs that went on air at that time. We have a machine for this, and this is called a real tape. And this has to be like, I've got what you call eraser. With this eraser, this eraser, when it's on, we just put this on top and it will erase the whole thing that's inside the tape. So you can record over. It's not like today with the digital machine that we have.
Yep.
Yes.
Mouse, click of a mouse.
Just a click of the mouse, everything comes in.
Yeah.
With this, if we record a program and you want to delete or take out whatever in the program, you have to splice the tape with a splicing tape so that you can join in and make a program whole.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's just an example.
I mean, but just
of
imagine
radio of the
both
day.
of you have come through this time. So tell me, how many songs or programs can fit on that reel?
With this, it's an hour.
It's an hour?
It's an hour.
Okay.
With this tape, it's an hour. But with the other small ones, it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes duration of programs that can be recorded in that.
Wow.
You want to say something?
Yes, I
Yes.
see.
It's amazing to look back at what we used to use.
Yeah, man, how time goes and how technology...
It's amazing until today technology has changed everything.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
Yes.
And well, with this, you have to work.
Work harder.
Yes, this
Okay.
is an example. And
Yeah.
I have pictures
Yeah.
that we use a cartridge. Nowadays, you can leave the studio on automation.
And yeah,
And you
go out
have
for a
a
minute
coffee.
or... Yeah.
Yes. But during that time, you can't, because one cartridge, it contains one song. What's that song of 3 minutes gone? And if you're outside, dead air.
Oh, boy.
That's how it
Yes.
goes.
Okay, very interesting indeed. So, I mean, both of you have come through that time. And what about recordings? I believe you had live recordings in the 60s, I think it was.
Yes. Well, that's in the 60s because I started at FBC in 1987 later.
Right.
But what I heard from our old colleagues,
That's history.
yes, that's history.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back to that
As soon as we
have a break.
come back. All right, then, on Speak Your Mind. Thank you a lot for your company. We'll be back shortly. Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. We're talking about leading up to World Radio Day on Thursday, what it's like to be a presenter. The theme, of course, is diversity. And if there's anything that you'd like to say, you can call 3220906 or 7732906. And yes, we do have a caller on the line. Bula Vinaka, this is Speak Your Mind.
Oh, Bulla.
Okay.
I just rang to say thank you very much
Oh,
for being there for all of us and for me. And I really enjoy the show, obviously.
Thank you.
And, you've all been great, and thank you very much.
Well, I really appreciate that for Catherine, you calling and saying thank you. That means the world to us.
Well, you're all fabulous.
Thank you so much for making our day.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
then. Thank you indeed.
Thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Catherine.
Right, so we get back to what we were talking about before now in the history of the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation. There was something that you wanted to mention.
Yes, what I heard and been told about FBC at the beginning from 1954 to maybe the late 1960s, that there was no recording done at that time. And the group, the artists, they used to come in live. Like I have a picture.
Yeah?
And with these are maybe on a Sunday where some of the women, they get together, a choir from a church, and that's how it goes. Where the big studio is now, the YG studio
Okay.
is now, that's where they used to assemble, and they wait for a technician to give a cue.
Wow.
So once the technician just a wave of a hand or what, and that's the time that they start with their choir or the song that they're about to sing from the group.
That's so interesting.
It's like a pop or a choir. It all goes in that way.
Oh, but, in my view, I think, what do you think, DJ Tora? It must have had a beautiful sound being live.
Yes, it was done by the British.
Okay.
And live recording right in the studio, which is really nice to hear. I remember when I was little, I used to listen to these recordings played over the air. And, man, it was great.
Yeah, because it's live.
It's live.
Imagine.
It
eh?
doesn't matter. It's natural.
Yeah.
Like today, we have to get rid of all the sounds that comes anywhere during the recording. But for this, when it's live, everything goes on here.
Yes.
I wonder if
Like-
we still have the recordings.
Yes, we still have the recording, but it's digitized now. We are getting rid of all those real tapes the original that we recorded from,
Okay.
and we're using the memory, or whatever we are using it now.
Right,
as
like
backup
for these days.
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, okay. That's from 1954, between 1954 to 1960s. And it's amazing that DJ Tora still remembers as a child listening to all this. Yes. And what were the programs like back in the day?
They used to have lots of community programs because all the staff or presenters will go out to the field and then do the recordings, whether it's live or and then they bring it back to the station, or it'll be played from wherever it was recorded, live and straight to the radio.
Right.
It was amazing because of the work they do. They go out and a lot of work involved in that.
It's a community work.
Yeah.
Like now, we have to go out, we do our recording, we come back, and then we produce a program, a well-produced 15 or 30 minutes program. Before any event that's happening outside, it's a live broadcast. The Queen arrived, or the Fiji Day celebration, all these events, it's live from wherever they are.
I think that's special. It really is special. I mean, DJ Tora, I'm sure, were you a part of it? What do you remember when the Queen arrived?
I was, like I said, that was back in 1953, am I correct?
yes.
Yeah,
So you
53?
would have been, what, maybe
Not
three?
yet.
Not born?
Not born yet.
Okay, Isa.
But I had stories.
Oh, you
about,
had stories.
yeah,
But
when the Queen
I'm
came.
thinking of Mr. Broadbridge because I know that he was a part of a lot of historical events.
He knows a lot. He knows a lot about
Yeah.
the Queen's visit to Fiji in 1953.
Because he was part of the Fijian Broadcasting then.
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to convince him to come on Speak Your Mind, but he never wants to. I mean, Mr. B, if you're listening, well, I mean, we think of you. We know what, how he has been a part of FBC. But moving on, can you tell me, Naikini, in your own words, how radio is an important part of the local community and listeners' life from your perspective?
Well, mostly the program that we produce, the program that gives us advice and how to live a happy life together, that's radio, and that's community radio. So now, as we are on the 21st century, with the kind of equipment that we have, easy to go out and do the recording for our community. And I hope that in the community and to our listeners, this will change their lives, as we did for the past 65 years of service for all our Fijians.
Yes.
And it happens and it will continue. Well, I'm just a few years for my retirement, but maybe I'll continue.
Okay, see DJ Thora laughing there?
No, I'm just continuing on what Nai had said. Technology has changed everything.
I mean, just imagine, in the space of 33 years, it has changed so much, right?
So much. It had made the work much easier.
Okay.
Like she mentioned, you can play a song, put it on auto,
Yeah.
and then go to the toilet. You
Yes.
can spend 5 minutes in the toilet, and then come back, the next song plays, right? You know?
Yes.
Because before you can't do that. One song, you have to watch it and then you play the next song. You have to do it manually.
Yeah.
Like today, it's just put it on auto and
Yeah. Exactly. I get what you mean. So on World Radio Day, I have to ask this question again. 2020, UNESCO is calling on radio stations to uphold diversity, both in their newsroom and on the airwaves. Nai, can you tell me in your words how the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation incorporates diversity on the airwaves?
I'm back to the program, conducting the talkback shows like this.
Yes.
So today's talkback show, it's Dipti who came in, Tora and myself, and it happens on our station, Radio Fiji One. We did the same.
I know you have a lot of programs because normally I see you very busy, Nai.
And we invited the Indo-Fijians, our fellow Indo-Fijians who can speak it okay,
Yes.
to be part. So that's diversity.
Yes,
on
that's
radio.
No, you need to talk more about diversity. But we'll be back soon on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. World Radio Days on Thursday. Yay! We're going to celebrate. The theme is radio diversity. I feel very happy that we actually have a day especially for us because don't you think we deserve it? I mean, well, obviously our audience first, though.
Yes, we do, for the past historical event that we have for radio.
Yes.
Maybe from 2012 that we started to recognize these days of World Radio Day.
Yes.
But how about for the past years? UNESCO have just come up with just a few years ago, celebrating World Radio Day.
Yeah.
And just imagine for all our colleagues, those who have come up for the past 60 years with radio, we salute them for what they did. Because looking back for Radio Fiji One, I'm the program director of Radio Fiji One, the archives that we have today is what they have produced. Our colleagues that they have gone, some are still with us. They're listening in and they watching us on FBC TV.
And we have
on
to
the
salute
Speaker
them.
Man, and
We have to salute them. You know who I remember most? Gary Acosta, for some reason.
Yes.
I was really young that time, but, you know, my grandfather used to always be listening to FBC.
Yeah. Because of them, we are
and
here
also
today.
radio is an important tool of our life because, like you said, recorded moments have been stored in the archives, and
Yes.
those are memories of the good times or the good moments that happened. and we can always carry it with us
And pass it on.
and
to
pass it
our-
on.
That's so true. And remember when we had the launching of Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, the president, Epelina Latikau, he said in those days, like radio was so special
Yes.
that, can you explain how, in the villages, what they used to do?
I remember before, you have to have a license to have a radio.
True.
Yes.
It's like having a gun or something.
You have to, because not everybody can have radio. You have to have a license
Why?
to have a radio.
Any reason?
It was the rule of the day at that time.
Wow.
Hmm.
So until I can remember later on, then it was it got faded, and then anybody can have radio. That's when the small transistor radios came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can recall, for the past years when radio starts at FBC, they told us a story that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., that's only the Itoke program will come on radio. The rest, it will be on Radio Fiji 3, maybe part of Radio Fiji 2. But for Radio Fiji 1, the beginning of FBC, only 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, that's the time. And that's where there is a radio, that's where they all
Gathered.
gather together and they listen to radio, whatever programs that comes in, the songs that comes in. That's like they enjoy, they've been entertained, and
It's so
that gives us
special.
a special. That's radio. What radio is still special today.
Still special today.
Like
Exactly.
I said, it's a important tool of our life,
Yeah.
the radio, because even in bad weather, you still listen to the radio.
You have to listen to the radio, eh?
Yes.
For your forecast
Everything
or
can-
cyclones, whatever.
We inform everybody about the weather situation.
Things
Keep
going
them
around
safe.
the world.
We
keep them
entertain
safe.
everybody with music.
That's right.
I feel like singing now. Right, that's so true. But I mean, that is how special radio is, and it will always be special. Yes, because it's immediate. People get the news very quickly. As soon as it comes to hand, it's out. And that is another way I think radio is special. Okay, but I need to ask you this question now. Can you explain? Okay, not that. As a presenter of the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, what would you like to tell our dear listener?
Well, keep listening, enjoy the good music of your number one station, Gold FM, or
Right?
even my station, I can say Radio Fiji 1.
Yeah, I've been in taxis and I hear Radio Fiji 1,
Radio.
Indo-Fijian driving, and even for buses, and then Radio Fiji 1 is on.
No, like we talked about the classic music. Classic music are played here on Gold FM and also on Radio Fiji 1.
Yes.
Yes.
And, one good thing about that classic music, it brings back a lot of memories as a listener. Brings back a lot of memory because it can, give you another energy, great energy
Oh, yes.
for
that's-
listening to your favorite music 10, 20 years ago.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Nothing beats it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Because what I remember from Radio Fiji 1 is, taking holidays to my father who used to live in Nambasa. And then after lunch, they would put Radio Fiji 1, those really old
Old
singing kind of songs.
Yes.
And that's when I first learned how beautiful it was. After lunch, we just take a lie down, the music is on, and you relax. Beautiful.
That's radio.
All right, then, nice. So another question, what would you, as a former seasoned presenter, like our critics of the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation to know about us?
To know about Fijian Broadcasting Corporation,
Yes,
I would
like
just
for
say-
our critics on the presenter view.
FBC will always be the best media company.
And we should be proud of the fact that we've been delivering for this long, don't you think, DJ Tora?
Yes, and don't forget that FBC will lead. Always will be in the front. One thing I'd like to inform our listeners is that you can come to FBC whenever we have open day.
Okay.
Come and have a look at the studios, meet up with the presenters, and see and take a look at how we work behind that microphone.
I mean, I think people should be grateful for the job that we do here. And also to, I reckon, our CEO, Riaz, he's done a brilliant job since he took over. I mean, you know, getting AM frequency. We've just been moving ahead. And this is all for the benefit of the people. Eh? What do you think?
Yes, because we're moving with time, with our equipment. It's the best. We were working with the best equipment that the radio can have. And we're on par with the rest of the world.
Thank you. Nai, anything else before we finish off?
Just wish them well
Okay.
on World Radio Day.
Well, that's lovely. It's been such a pleasure having you two, my good friends, to join me on Speak Your Mind today from Radio Fiji One, the program director, Naikini, and our very own DJ Tora Vinakavakalevu. I hope you enjoyed the show on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Until next week, Nisamo Demanda.